Beer is a lightly alcoholic beverage produced from barley malt, water, hops, and yeast at a bare minimum.
That's a good answer.
A bunch of my friends got together and bought me a kit for homebrewing, and I just got more and more excited about it and started, building my own equipment and reading everything I could find about brewing. And at some point, Kellen thought it would be a good idea for us to start a business. And I think I'm just a very skeptical person, so I thought if we're going to do that, we need to make sure we have a lot of experience doing that before we jump into that. So that's how I ended up going to brewing school and how I ended up working for so long before we actually started the brewery.
So there was about a month where I thought, you've got to figure out how you can become a brewer. And after about a month, I was like, we've got to figure out how we can start a brewery. And I was tagging along, trying to learn what he was learning, but our different personalities took us to different directions to get experience, and then we came back to our hometown here. So,
our product, it's kind of a mixture of simplicity and elaboration. We stick to a lot of traditional styles and things, and we're deep-rooted in a lot of the experience that we've had and staying true to that, but at the same time, we feel that innovation is really a big part of what we do, and we like to try to do a lot of different things that are not just, something new to the region here, but also just trying to push the boundaries of what people are used to drinking in beer in general.
In the United States, we don't have that same hundreds of years of tradition of beer making, and we have, there's cultures from all over the world that all live in the United States, which I think kind of breeds an interest in doing something different, or if nothing else, combining styles, like making something out of two different things that maybe is the best of both worlds, or occasionally the worst of both worlds, depending on the drinker.
I'd say what's unique about it too is that in Europe, and not just in Germany, beer is very regional and almost very town-centric. In Cologne, they make Kolsch. In Dusseldorf, they make Alt, and you only drink that style of beer. And that's maybe kind of like in Memphis, we do dry rub barbecue, and they do baby back ribs somewhere else, and on, there's cuisines around the country. What's cool about the U.S. is because we have a newer beer culture, we have less history, like he was talking about, we can take all of those styles. And here at this brewery, we make, German-style lagers. We make Belgian beers that are very, spicy and, have a lot of strong yeast flavors. We do very hoppy, which is a kind of an American thing to do. We can do experimental things, and because it's new to everybody, people are almost more open to it than over there where it's very regionalized to the town. So that's the cool thing about the American beer scene.
My name is Andy McQuarrie. I'm the brew house manager at Wiseacre Brewing Company. My day-to-day job is basically I come in and monitor the wort production. I'm in charge of everything that goes into the tank, pre-fermentation, the milling of the grain, the hops, the different sugars and things that we add. Basically what's known as the hot side of brewing is it all kind of falls under my umbrella.
We've made, I think, over 60 different beers now. We do, 3 year-round. There's a Pilsner Tiny Bomb, which won a medal at the Great American Beer Festival. The IPA Ananda, which he was just talking about. The Coffee Milk Stout, Got to Get Up to Get Down. We have a seasonal line, but we've also done just a ton of one-offs. And so that's a fun time to be experimental and try new things. But I think all of those things are done, with the experience of him and the rest of our staff. So it's not like, there's the day where he's just making it up. If there's a great chef and they have a new dish, you're going to expect them to do something great because they have a great grasp of ingredients, they have a great grasp of their equipment. They know what's going to happen before it gets started.
The reception's been pretty good throughout. that's one of the good things about beer is there's so many different styles out there that you're never going to make something that kind of wins over everybody, but you're making enough things that everybody finds something that they really like. I think everything we've done has been well received. I mean, some people don't like wheat beers, some people don't like stouts, so you have that variance to kind of deal with, but at the same time, the styles that we've put out have all kind of been true to what they should be, and have all been received pretty well throughout.
So the beer is made in a simplified way. We take malted barley, which is basically barley that has been kind of allowed to germinate a little bit. It starts an enzymatic conversion where it's converting some of its starches to sugars.
We then boil that sugary liquid and we add hops to it. The hops add bitterness and flavor and aroma. A lot of times they're citrusy or herbal or grassy or
tropical fruit.
Tropical, piney. There's a lot of different characteristics that you get from hops.
And then we cool it down really rapidly and put it into a fermenter with some yeast and let the yeast eat the sugar, and that creates alcohol and the good flavors that we like in the beer. And so simply put, that's that's the process.
Which kid do you love the most? It's not as easy as that, but I always go with Tiny Bomb. It's a testament to what we do. Being a Pilsner, not a lot of craft breweries are doing Pilsners, so to us have that and be doing it as well and as consistently as we're doing it, I always treat that as probably one of our biggest pats in the back as far as the efforts that we put out. No, I got to get back to work. Thank you guys.